Great possessions. 120 acres, according to the county clerk, is the extent of my worldly domain. But the county clerk is a sleepy fellow who never looks at his record books before 9 o'clock. What they would show at daybreak is the question here at issue. Books or no book? It is a fact, patent both, to my dog and myself, that at daybreak I am the sole owner of all the acres I can walk over. It is not only boundaries that disappear, but also the thought of being bounded. Expanses unknown to deed or map are known at every dawn, and solitude, supposed no longer to exist in my county, extends on every hand as far as the dew can reach. Like other great landowners, I have tenants. They are negligent about rents, but very punctilious about tenures. Indeed, at every daybreak from April to July, they proclaim their boundaries to each other, and so acknowledge, at least by interference, their fiefdom to me. This daily ceremony, contrary to what you might suppose, begins with the utmost decorum. Who originally laid down its protocols, I do not know. At 3:30 a.m., with such dignity as I can muster of a July morning, I step from my cabin door, bearing in either hand my emblems of sovereignty, a coffee pot and a notebook. I seat myself on a bench, facing the white wake of a morning star. I set the pot beside me and I extract a cup from my shirt front, hoping none will notice its informal mode of transport. I get out my watch, pour coffee, and lay notebook on knee. This is a cue for the proclamations to begin. At 3:35, the nearest field sparrow avows, in a clear tenor chant, that he holds the jack pine copse north to the riverbank and south to the old wagon track. One by one, all the other field sparrows within earshot recite their respective holdings. There are no disputes, at least at this hour, so I just listen, hoping inwardly that their womenfolk acquiesce to this happy accord over the status quo ante. Before the field sparrows have quite gone the rounds, the robins in the big elms warble loudly, declaim to the crotch where the ice storm tore off a limb, and all appurtenances pertaining thereto, meaning, in this case, all angleworms in the not very spacious adjacent lawn. The robin's insistent caroling awakens the oriole, who now tells the world of orioles that the pendant branch of the elm belongs to him, together with all fiber-bearing milkweed stalks nearby, all loose strings in the garden, and the exclusive right to flash like a burst of fire from one of these to another. My watch says 3:50. The indigo bunting on the hill asserts title to the dead oak limb left by the 1936 drought, and the river's nearby bugs and bushes. He does not claim, but I think he implies, the right to outblue all bluebirds and all spiderworts that have turned their faces to dawn. Next, the wren, the one who discovered the knothole on the eave of the cabin, explodes into song. Half a dozen other wrens give voice, and now all is bedlam. Grosbeaks, thrashers, yellow warblers, bluebirds, vireos, towhees, cardinals, all are at it. My solemn list of performers, in their order of time, the first song hesitates, wavers, ceases, for my ear can no longer filter out priorities. Besides, the pot is empty and the sun is about to rise. I must inspect my domain before my title runs out. We sally forth, the dog and I, at random. He has paid scant respect to all these vocal goings-ons, for to him the evidence of tenantry is not song but scent. Any infiltrate bundle of feathers, he says, can make a noise in a tree. Any illiterate bundle of feathers can make a noise in a tree. Now, he is going to translate for me the olfactory poems that who knows what silent creatures have written in the summer night. At the end of each poem sits the author, if we can find him. What we actually find is beyond predicting. A rabbit suddenly yearning to be elsewhere, a woodcock fluttering his disclaimer, a cock pheasant indignant over wetting his feathers in the grass. Once in a while we turn up a coon or a mink, returning late from the evening's foray. Sometimes we rout a heron from his unfinished fishing, or surprise a mother wood duck with her convoy of ducklings, headed full steam for the shelter of pickerel weeds. Sometimes we see deer sauntering back in the thickets, replete with alfalfa blooms, veronica, and wild lettuce. More often we see only the interweaving darkling lines that lazy hooves have traced on the silken fabric of the dew. I can feel the sun now. The bird chorus has run out of breath. The far clank of cowbells bespeak the herd ambling in pasture. A tractor roars, warning that my neighbor is astir. The world has shrunk to those mean dimensions known to county clerks. We turn towards home and breakfast.